Supertech, represented here by their MD, Mr. Kevin Chiu. And joining me on this stage is also a representative from Dangote Fertiliser, Mr. Sadiq. Right. Okay. I would like to start with a brief preamble. And I think Mr. Ed Ubong had done good justice in painting the picture of the domestic market. I'll briefly touch on one or two of the salient statistics that will help us set the stage for the discourse this afternoon. Domestic gas is expected to play a pivotal role in Nigeria's industrial growth story. Yet, a significant gap remains between ambition and reality. According to statistics, whether from NUPRC or every other source that we have, it puts domestic commercialization of domestic gas, within the country, domestic accounting for 45% and 55% being exported. And talking about domestic, the Gas Master Plan has painted a picture of the direction of demand within the domestic market. And it puts GBI, gas-based industry, as a significant contributor to this demand. On the backdrop of this, I would engage this gentleman, saying that they are front runners in the GBI sector on some of the salient issues that they have come across along the journey of utilizing gas to power gas-based industries such as fertilizers, ammonia, and all the good things that we've seen from the video documented earlier. So I would like to start with Mr. Kevin Chiu. With your plan, and from the video, you spoke about your plan to expand your methanol production from 100,000 metric tons to 180,000 metric tons, and ammonium bicarbonate production from 180,000 metric tons to 300,000 metric tons. How are you approaching your long-term energy strategy? What factors most influence the balance between natural gas and alternative energy sources to scale your production to the level that your ambition has put forward?
Okay, let me answer directly. Yeah. So natural gas stays our main core long-term energy strategy. Okay. With the help of NPC, GACN, and NEPL and all the other partners, we have commissioned our project very successfully. But as a methanol and producer, natural gas is both as a raw material and energy source, okay, still our priority. So as we expand, so our priority always the long-term reliable gas supply. Thank you.
Okay, so as you expand, you continue to require natural gas.
Yes, because alternative energy can improve the efficiency, but for methanol and its downstream products, natural gas is still not irreplaceable. It's the only raw material.
Let's put our hands together for him. Natural gas is irreplaceable for them. Thank you very much for that. I'll go quickly to Mr. Sadiq Mandara from Dangote Fertilizers. With a production capacity of 3 million metric tons per annum, Dangote Fertilizer plant is one of the largest industrial gas consumer in the country. And with natural gas serving as both critical feedstock and energy source for you as well, I mean, similar to the Supertech experience. Recognizing the importance of supply security, we see that Dangote has invested significantly in dedicated gas supply arrangements and supporting infrastructure. Now my question is, how critical is that strategy to the success and reliability of your plant's operations? And what lessons can other gas-based industries learn about securing long-term gas supply as they scale their businesses?
Okay. This is a very good observation, right? Dangote, we are really a major off-taker of natural gas for the fertilizer. For fertilizer, this strategy is very critical for reliability and also to ensure continuous operations of the plant. That's Dangote fertilizer plant. The Dangote fertilizer plant itself, it's a major, how do I put it? Let's see. Okay, in essence, what I'm trying to say is we actually require natural gas so much. It's very vital to our operations. Without natural gas, any disruption is a major problem. So having a reliable supply is very critical for its operation. No natural gas, no operation. Because natural gas is feedstock and also fuel. Fuel we use in our boilers. So we don't play with that because it's actually security for our operations. Very vital. It's not something we can joke with. So in this regards, GACN has been very supportive because anytime we need the reliable gas, we meet them. They provide the support we need, right? And if there's any disruption, as we all know, for a fertilizer plant or any chemical plant, we are highly sensitive to disruption. Very, very. It causes downtime. It affects our equipment. It also affects, let's say, customer obligation. Because you are having a production, you have already made commitments. If there's any disruption in that, you have obligations to do. So we really, really try as much as possible to avoid disruption. It's bad. Okay, so in terms of advice to other gas-based industry, I would advise them to ensure they have a dedicated supply arrangement. That's very key. It should be part of their business model because no gas, no operations. We all know that. And also, another point, it's very good they start early engagement with relevant stakeholders, GACN specifically, right? Yes, we have the regulators, we have the transporters, we have the suppliers, but we need early engagement. Like in our own case right now, we are trying to do an expansion, right? Currently, we have 2 trains. We know our requirement. So by expanding to 4 more trains, we know what we need. So we have already started making those arrangements. We are in constant communication with the relevant stakeholders, especially GACN. So please, anybody in the gas-based industry that wants to do any business, they should ensure they have supply security. It's key. Thank you.
Thank you very much. A takeaway from what you said is no gas, no natural gas, no operations. And that's underscored the criticality of natural gas. It's not just to sign the agreement, it's not just to sign the contract. We must ensure that it continues to flow and is assured. The reliability of it is what is most important according to you. Thank you very much for that. I'll go quickly back to Mr. Kevin Chiu. Despite Nigeria's vast gas reserve, like I said earlier, only 45% of gas production is currently being supplied in the domestic market. There are indications from the Decade of Gas statistics that GBI only accounts for about 15% of the projected demand. My question to you, Mr. Kevin, is from your perspective, what has been the key barriers to expanding gas utilization within industrial sector? What are practical interventions that are needed to accelerate growth in industries such as fertilizers, petrochemical, methanol productions such as yours?
Okay, thank you. To us, for the first gas to methanol plant, from my view, the barriers are the gas reliability, infrastructure, but above all this, the most challenge to us is the market profitability, because we are the first methanol producer plant in Nigeria, and the margin is very small, is very low, and the market scale is very limited compared to international this mature market. So as the first methanol plant, our first goal is to meet the domestic methanol demand. But when it comes to compete with those importers from the international markets, so our product is not that competitive. So that is the main barrier, we think, from my point of view, for our own plant. I think if talk about if my view to my company, if there is more comprehensive, can combine not only this gas supply, reliable gas supply and competitive pricing and this, and also some practical policies which can support these local GBI producers to make them have more space for profit, more space for profit, so that they can attract more investors to invest in Nigeria. Because through our success commissioning, many Chinese companies, many investors, they show very big interest to invest in Nigeria. But we know, as the first gas methanol plant, we know the real challenge, because the margins are really small. So that is why, if there's more practical policy to support these local gas-based chemical plants, that will be better for us. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for touching on the subject of profitability and margin. My next question, I'll come back to you. Let me quickly check with Mr. Sadiq around pricing, product pricing. Today, within the pricing framework that currently exists, GBI today is the most favored, gets the most favorable dispensation with respect to gas pricing. 0.9 per MMBTU as the floor, relative to domestic base price, which is what is used for power, at pegged at $2.18, and commercial being $2.65. So GBI is the least priced demand sector. Now, to what extent has this pricing advantage influenced investment and competitiveness within the sector? The two of you, I would like to get perspectives, but let me start from you, Mr. Sadiq.
Well, for Dangote Fertiliser specifically, we are really happy with that pricing, because it has enabled a lot of investment, a lot of business, and also competitiveness, right? It makes us very, because if you look at the pricing compared to what you get outside, ours is very okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very, very, very okay for us.
Okay. It seems Mr. Kevin wants more. Can I hear from you, please?
As a private company, we are so small compared to Dangote Group. But another thing, why the price is a challenge for us, because of the port issue. Like we all know, Dangote has its own ports. It can compete the international market very easily. Our base is in Nandu State. So why we based our place in Nandu State? Because we have invested in Nigeria for more than 20 years. But our formal investment is for traditional manufacturer, like building materials. So this is our first chemical investment. So that is why, because of the transportation, ports, all these logistic issues, we cannot compete. We cannot export to compete with the international market price. So that is why I'm laughing, because we are not that advantage compared to them.
Okay, so what I hear from you is that infrastructure advantage, plays a critical role also in ensuring competitiveness. We know Dangote has a strength in that regard. Mr. Sadiq, can you tell us more around where do you see the biggest infrastructure bottleneck today?
Okay, so for me, the major bottleneck has to do with more of logistics. That's transportation.
Okay.
Yeah, because we are not talking about gas. Gas is available, we have the reserve. But moving the gas from that field to where it's being needed is where the problem is, right? So that's my own observation, infrastructure. Though we give it to NGIC, I can see they are making a lot of efforts. Because this recent publication or announcement about the OB3, that's the River Niger crossing, is a very good one. We are going to get a lot of gas from the east to the west and more. And also this midline compressors that is being installed is going to help a lot with the pressure problems we are having. So these are very good projects, and I really give kudos to NGIC and the team, and also GACN also for their own supportive activities. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that. We're going to welcome a few questions after this round. I'll go around again. Mr. Kevin, the topic of this discussion, this fireside, is unlocking competitive industrial growth through gas. Looking at it, not just from the competitiveness of the energy, I'm also interested in looking at it from the competitiveness of the market players. Which brings me to the question I want to pose to you. Do Nigeria's gas supply and commercial framework provide enough confidence for investors to commit capital over a long term, 10, 15 years horizon? If not, what needs to change to make long-term arrangements truly bankable and attractive to other players?
Okay, thank you.
So we want a future where it is not only a few participants within the GBI sector. We want others to also be able to come in, such that we can gain economies of scale, generally as a country. Okay,
thank you. As I've said, our commission, we can commission so smoothly, successfully, is with the strong support from NPC, especially GACN and all our partners. So our success set a very good example for those investors. For here in Nigeria, it is for sure for them to invest. This is a very good place to invest. And also many investors already expressed their interest to invest in Nigeria here. Just now I mentioned this competitive issue is just from my own business. But above Supertech, a lot of investors have come through us, reached out to GACN, reached out to different departments, seeking for more opportunities. And a lot of work we are still helping them to lodge in Nigeria very smoothly. And my advice is, as I've mentioned for this, how to make investors, for investors to invest, long-term invest, there are only two things for gas sector. Number one is reliable gas supply. Number two is a profitable market. Because as a long-term investor, they always to see the sustainability for them, how to recover their capital, like 10 years or 15 years. So that is always a sector for, I think our Nigeria government should maybe restrict. For example, this for as our methanol, because we are the first one. We are the first one to produce methanol. Before us, there's no one producing. That is why I think there is need for our government to formalize some practical rules or policies to support us to compete with others. But for now, we are very okay because our main goal is to meet the domestic use first. By the time we want to export, as we have said, we want to expand. Maybe we can launch our phase 2 or phase 3, maybe within Dangote group near the airport, so that we can compete with the international market. Why we still want to expand our methanol plant is because there's still possible need for local. Because, for example, like Dangote and Indorama, they are importing this formaldehyde, that is UFC 85, large quantity every year. So we want to expand our methanol plants as well as we want to expand our UFC plant so that we can produce locally, we can supply them. That is why we want to expand our methanol plant. Thank you.